Before we start today's talk, I'd like to share with you a story from Joe. Joe look after a large infrastructure for a large organization, and he managed the virtualization platform. He has been working day and night with a team to prepare for a most important campaign the organization is going to have. The company is going to generate the majority revenue through this campaign. And only 12 hours, and they already stabilized the version of the application and ready to go live. Unfortunately, someone just did another routine test and identified a high risk of the application. They need to quickly fix the problem, otherwise it will have a big impact to the end user experience and company reputation. What Joe is going to do, he has no confidence because it took him days and weeks to get to the current stage. He has no mechanism to support him to roll out another version. But look at this challenge. AWS faces this similar challenge every day. But AWS just simply treat this change as a routine and roll out the newer version to whole fleet as business as usual. You can see the challenge most organizations have today, and AWS can handle this so easily. This is a big gap we're trying to remediate. Today's talk, I'd like to share with you some thought and also technology to help you. Why Joe is so struggling? Because most of the time, he just waits. Depending on organization, you have multiple teams to perform different type of tasks. And during the handover is keep waiting. For example, you have solution defined and wait someone to deploy into the staging or testing environment. Once you pass the test, you wait application owner to approve it and wait someone to deploy that into your production environment. You add up all the tasks, it ended up days, even weeks. Another challenge, risks, how to control. For example, you can simply deploy a template to incorporate that change and roll out. But can you easily roll back? Even worse, lots of organizations have many templates. It's not trivial work to keep track what has been changed and how you can have the insight about what has been installed on this template. Let's embrace infrastructure as a code. It's something we should start with. It's just to deliver a repeatable routine when you provision new infrastructure or you make a change. And you clearly identify the change as a code. Once you validate the code, you just roll out without people to do the human intervention, and it will get exactly the same outcome. The benefit for that is you can accelerate speed and deploy a large scale environment and also reduce the risk. If you want to go back to previous version, you can roll back easily. I'd like to highlight some principles of infrastructure as a code. Some principles comes from this book. I call it CDR. C stands for consistent. You should always stick to one consistent mechanism. For example, you already have infrastructure defined as code, but sometimes you want to fix something, you tend to jump on the host and make a change in a quick and dirty way. You have inconsistency. As a result, you lose the confidence about your automation process, and it's getting worse. Secondly, treat the servers as a cattle instead of pets. Doesn't matter, server is appear, disappear, or resize the server, your application should always on. Last, repeatable. You define the process once, deploy the code once, and you give the same input. You should always can easily repeat the process with exactly same outcome. Why AWS Serverless can help you achieve this? Firstly, fully managed. You don't need to manage your own environment. And you can pay as you go. Just pay when the tasks was running. And also because the integration between AWS and VMware Cloud on AWS, you have that high bandwidth, low latency link. You have a seamless integration to provide very good performance to streamline your build or software release process. Furthermore, what if you already done lots of automation? You can continue using that code because lots of AWS services support a wide range of SDK and API. You make little effort to get it working in using the serverless services. Let's jump into technology. So Joe managed to take this approach and start with make a change into code and use CodeCommit. That's a managed services like private GitHub. You commit code, and then you leverage CodeBuild to do the build for you. You don't need to manage your own environment. And use CloudFormation, you specify what resources you want to deploy into the staging or testing environment, pass the testing, and automatically send a notification to application owners using Amazon Notification Service (SNS). CodePipeline will coordinate each component and make a very seamless process for you. But the question is, how about production? Application owners want low risk, no downtime. Can we make it happen? Let's talk about blue-green. You have two environments up running all the time. Blue is your production environment. Green, that will be your newer version. And you set up boundaries. Probably your application stack or whole infrastructure or individual VMs. It's up to you how you configure this environment. And then you make a choice how you're going to do the deployment into production. So here, use an example. You can change the DNS record or load balancer configuration to point to different environment. Let's use a very simple example. For example, here you have two boxes in the middle. This is a customer-owned AWS account. Right-hand side, you already deployed applications on VMware Cloud on AWS. It's VMs. And you have an existing version running, blue version, that's your production. And a green box, that's a newer version for the version you want to upgrade to. You simply put application load balancer in front of them and the point to control where the traffic will be directed into. For example, the end user on your left-hand side send the traffic will hit to the application load balancer first. As normal, it will be directed to your existing production environment, which is blue. As soon as you make your update, the newer version, which is a green environment, you're ready to cut over, you just simply run the CloudFormation to change configuration of that application load balancer, and the traffic, incoming traffic will be sent to the new environment. Let's put everything together so you have an idea how these components work together. Here, you already have a pipeline created. You have change made and define the change as a code, and then use CodeBuild to build your new environment and deploy into staging, and also pass the testing. You can see the green box, the VMs, the group of VMs is a newer version of the application is ready to cut over. And here, you just simply run a CloudFormation to change the configuration. And then, as a result, the traffic will be directed to a new environment. You're happy with a stable, you simply just demolish your existing blue environment. What if you have a challenge, you have issues you want to roll back? You simply make that change as a code, and you go back to your previous version within seconds. As you can see, it's very streamlined process. And here, our goal is to leverage AWS Serverless to streamline this process, animate human intervention, animate time you require to execute these tasks, and most importantly, animate the waiting time between the cutover. As a result, you can see instead of have weeks or days, we'll have hours, very efficient and streamlined process. So that's an end of talk. Thank you very much.